Kia ora, and thank you, Dan, for the wonderful opening. Can I acknowledge tangata whenua, iwi of Tauranga Moana, and Māori kiwifruit growers who will be a big part of the future. Can I acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues? I saw Lawrence on the plane. I think kia tapu, Alan and Angie are coming this afternoon. Can I make an apology for the Prime Minister? There are a few demands on her time, and I know she would love to be here, but can't. Can I just acknowledge Bruce Cameron, who's not with us, but Doug Brown, I'm sure, will be. Dan, nice to have you here. To Tembi Powell and to Gary Webber, who I'm sure will be here. To growers, to guests, to all those people from offshore who have come. I guess I'm one of them, from the South Island in this Bay of Plenty, but it's great to be here. I knew it. I wore a tie, green, and then I came in and saw actually gold's the trendy colour. But then I thought, actually, if I come back next year, it'll be great. It'll be red again, and we'll all know why. Can I just acknowledge the 5th biannual Momentum Conference? You come together every 2 years. This is an amazing industry. It's great that you come together and celebrate, and I'm sure there'll be more of that. I apologise that I won't be here this evening to celebrate with you, but you can have my share. Now, Momentum is the right title because you are going through a period of very strong growth, and I guess to be seeking more growth might be unrealistic at this time, but to know where the momentum might take you, I think is a very, very pertinent question. We're hoping to see what about 8.6% increase in export revenue this coming year. That's an amazing level of growth. The focus of standing up and standing out is something that I can connect to as a Labour Minister across the primary sectors. You've got to be prepared to stand up, and you've got to be prepared to speak your mind and stand out. And indeed, this industry has done that in the past. I'd just like to acknowledge a good mate of mine who's given me a little bit of history over the years, Leo Mangos, who actually comes from the West Coast. That's one of his greatest attributes, but was a key player, along with a few other people in the room here, in getting the kiwifruit marketing regulations in place in the late 80s. And that move was a crucial one in bringing coordination and collaboration to an industry that's now enjoying that. Coming from dairy industry, I have to say I appreciate and understand the value of cooperation and collaboration. You have an amazing success story, as I've said, and I think it is timely to celebrate some of the wonderful things that have come out of China at a time when we have growing concern around coronavirus and its effects internationally. It's great that we can celebrate a small fruit, kiwi fruit now, Chinese gooseberry then. The first ever interaction I had is a vine growing over a water tank in Waimangaroa, not really knowing what it was and not having any idea of what it could become for our country. The fastest growing primary sector, operating revenue of over $3 billion last year, and over 500,000 tonnes of fruit. It's something that you should all be thanked for. Of course, you have been shifting from green to gold, a wonderful transition, but it's not been without its challenges. In fact, I can look at boom, bust, and now we're going through a boom period. The question is, what next? And so standing up, standing out, asking the questions of yourself is a vital component of a prosperous future for you all. You have stood up to be a world leader in providing premium quality kiwi fruit, not just kiwi fruit, but kiwi fruit that deserves a premium price. And you've stuck to that. We've got some challenges ahead of us. We've got freshwater challenges in some areas. We're needing to protect highly productive land. We've got a zero carbon amendment bill, a commitment internationally to try and reduce our emissions. And I have to say that this industry is playing a very positive role in each and every one of those situations. You have brought to select committees, to government fora, WISE, council, and wise representation. For that, I thank you, and I thank NZKGI for submissions on those things. You, of course, or Zespri, as your organisation, is looking to reduce a carbon footprint at every single opportunity. And I hope that other industries take the lead from what you're trying to do, as Dan has pointed out. It's great that this year, 2020, clear vision, that you launch a red kiwi fruit. And it's nice that it's an election year, that it's a red kiwi fruit. We really appreciate the coincidence there, and I'm hoping that it won't cause too many growers to be put off planting that new and innovative variety. Innovation has always been at the centre of the kiwi fruit industry. I guess that's why you were able to get through the PSA challenge. It wasn't actually bust, but it could have been if you hadn't shown, I guess, the commitment and the collaboration, working with the researchers, working with one another to make sure that you got on top of that disease as quickly as possible, and that you replanted in a variety that has a prosperous future. We are in the livestock sector facing a similar challenge with M. bovis, and some of you may have been involved and tied up with that. We seek the same level of discipline and cooperation to ensure that we can rid our country of that disease. From a government perspective, we have been prepared, of course, to support innovation in plant tech, which I haven't visited yet in Tauranga, is our way of committing to innovation alongside you to make sure that whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's better utilisation of technology, all of those things have to be brought forward as quickly as possible. And we'll continue to commit to work alongside you. The Primary Sector Council, which has been chaired by, I guess, a student of this industry, Lane Jager, he's learned a lot from you all, and he's taken that wisdom to lead a group of people that has established a vision for all primary sectors in this country, fit for a better world. And I have to say there's still work to do to how we implement that strategic vision, but I'm sure that with his leadership and with cooperation of other sectors, that we will indeed become not just the best farmers and the best growers in the world, but the best growers and best farmers for the world. And that is indeed the best place for us to be for a more sustainable future. As I say, we have some challenges, and climate change being one of them, water quality being another. Changing consumer tastes is something that your industry and this company in particular, in Zespri, has always been at the forefront of. We can't assume that just because we have growth and we have success, that we have widespread applause and we have an appreciation of that. The huge growth in volume and the huge growth in value must be shared by all participants in your industry. And I have raised this issue from time to time. We should have people clamouring to be a part of the kiwi fruit industry, given your record of success. But we still struggle to get people, not just pickers, but people at every level, and that shouldn't be the situation. Markets and Kiwis respond to price signals, and I'd suggest that the growth in the value, the growth in the wealth that we've created must be shared by all in your industry. In the same way that government has had to embark upon a trade for all agenda, that is to go out and sell the value of New Zealand trading products to people who don't fully understand that, then you too have to go out, shout your success, and ensure that the success is shared by people so they too can be your advocates. When it comes to things like biosecurity, we can't do it on our own. Can I thank the kiwi fruit industry again for your positive support in the fruit fly incursions that we've had. We've got rid of them for the time being, but the positive support from kiwi fruit industry, KGI, was amazing. Thank you very, very much. But we need every New Zealander, every one of you when you travel offshore, to do your bit to ensure that you don't bring back in some unwanted pest or disease. That is the best way of us having secure borders, because it is challenging, if not impossible, to check every single container, to check every single person. And a growing awareness of that and each and every New Zealander sharing the responsibility is the best way for us to have a better biosecurity system. In terms of trade, there's some challenging times. It's very pleasing to see that the US and China have sorted out, for the moment, their differences. When the elephants are stamping around, then players like us can be trodden on. We have a 6-part strategy. We need to defend international trade rules. The assumption that the WTO was going to protect us as a trading nation can't be taken for granted at all. We must participate in regional institutions. And RCEP, ASEAN, all of these organisations are collaborations that must build and help us with what our objectives are. We need to pursue ambitious and open trade agreements. RCEP, as I say, an agreement potentially with half the world's population is something worth pursuing. We signed off CPTPP, and indeed this industry has perhaps been the greatest single and most direct beneficiary through the $26 million in reduced tariffs into the Japanese market alone that we've achieved through that agreement. The EU, the UK, these are all agreements and trade opportunities that we're going to have to negotiate to ensure that we have, as I say, a sustainable future. Look, in the end, we in government want to work alongside you. We want to, I guess, share your wisdom, your innovation. The refresh of your brand is something done in a period of success, not the rebranding that sometimes occurs in crisis by some companies in a desperate situation. And the subtle but smart way that you have done that refresh in the limited bit that I have seen is again one more example of the innovation and the forward thinking of Zespri. So thank you for that, and again, if you can share that with the rest of the primary sector, we'll all be better off. Can I say, look, we will be spending more on biosecurity. We will continue to spend through PGF and through direct government funding and MB money to help you with innovation, with science, and with better protection. We want to partner with you. We want, as I say, the kind of growth that you have had as an industry to apply across our whole country. And in closing, I'd just like to, as I say, thank you for your collaboration and cooperation. It's easy in a period of success to think that you can do it better. You can rush off and be an independent player, or you can show the big companies how it should be done. But in my experience and that of the meat industry, the dairy industry, where you can band together, where you can hold together, and when you can use your collective efforts and wisdom to continue with innovation, then you will succeed and outperform others around the world. We are in a very competitive environment. Even here in New Zealand for land use, you will have to continue to be at the forefront of all the very best things. Sustainable management, water utilisation, labour management, and of course, innovation and technology. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be here. I think I'm supposed to, along with Dan, kind of open the conference. And it is indeed my pleasure and honour to open the Momentum Conference 2020. May you be the best growers in and the best growers for the world. Kia ora.